Hello, and welcome to another broadcast of Conversations with Marlon, the guitar player in the corner. I'm your host, Marlon Bankston. My guest today is Mitia Oliver. She's a gospel pop artist. She runs a record label called Jesus is Lord. She's a singer-songwriter. She manages a band, Generations of Faith. She's the minister of music for Glenning's Community Bible Church. I think she also consults with the Seattle Seahawks on their offense. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't get that. Never mind. Welcome, Mitia Oliver. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Marlon. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I put the Seattle Seahawk thing in there because I'm fine. I put the Seattle Seahawk line in there because you have such a long resume of things you're doing. I figure the only thing that you've left out is there you go.
At the Hawk's Nest.
I knew it was something.
Walton invited me, and we got a chance to sing Church Girl there at their Hawk's Nest. The mothers of Marshawn Lynch and the team, they're not there anymore, but Marshawn Lynch's mother and the other baby, his mom, they got together and they allowed me to come and sing. So yeah, I sang for the Seahawks. What is that baby's name?
Oh, is that for real? I was just kidding on that.
It's real life. It's real life. It was 2015. I sang for the Hawks Nest.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. Is that the year they won the Super Bowl? Or I can't remember.
No, it was not.
It had to have been after that point. They heard you. They heard you. The fire got up under them, and they jumped up, won the Super Bowl, kicked the Kansas City Chiefs out of it. So I'm mad, but I'm happy for you. Okay?
I'm sorry.
That's okay, because we ended up winning it. That's all right. We ended up winning it anyway, so we're good.
Well, congratulations. I was happy for whoever won that time. But if it was between my team,
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that's right. I hear you. Let's talk about you. What all the activities that you do and all the titles that you have, let's peel back some of those layers and let me get down into your beginnings. What's the history? Where are you from? What's your background?
I am born and raised in Seattle, Washington. My dad became a pastor when I was 10 years old. So before that, in 1989, when I was 4, my family came out with a gospel album called The Lord is Coming Soon. And so that's all of our Generations of Faith. And they used to travel all over Pacific Northwest just singing. Yes, my family came out with this album in 1989, and so I just was around music my whole life. My dad always had Pro Tools. He's always had any type of system that you could think of. We've always had a digital audio workstation in the house, and all these different mics, from Neumann to, all the name brands. My dad was into it, and so just recording has always been in my family. And so the way that I started was on the drums. I was the drummer for our church because my brother was the drummer of the group. But when my dad started the church, he had to move to the keys. So this 10-year-old girl had to drop her Barbie dolls and go play the drums. So it wasn't something that I wanted to do, but now I'm so excited because I love the drums. And then when I was about 11, I started piano lessons. And 15, I started playing the organ. And so, man, then when I was 17 in high school, I started writing songs. So I've been doing this for a long time now, probably about 25 years of just being in music. As far as recording, I didn't start recording until 2008 though. So yeah. It's still a journey. It's still a journey.
Your mom was your mom, or is your mom, was she musically inclined?
Absolutely. The first lady. My mom plays the piano, and she used to be one of the minister of music at a really big church here for the Angel Choir at Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. So she was a director, and And she plays, oh my goodness. My mom is the type of piano player that she can give you the basics with the, the 1, 3, 5 chords. But my dad would give you those tritones and all the other transitional chords in between. So I appreciate my mom though, because she has foundation.
And Mitia, who were you named after? Where's the name, origin of your name?
Oh man. Okay, so my dad used to tell this story very well. He named me. I don't know where he got it from, but he did tell me it means God's gift, and God's favor. So yeah, I wish he was here to tell that story, but my dad named me.
Okay, so let me ask you. So I saw when I was reading on you that reference to your having a musical ministry, and as I mentioned at the top of the interview, that you are minister of music at your church. But that's the family church, I trust, right?
Yes.
Is that the family church?
Yes, it is.
Glenings. Okay, all right. So with respect to your ministry, let's talk about that for a second. When did that get started? What is the purpose? What is the message for your ministry? What if someone meeting you, what are they supposed to walk away with? First of all, how did it get started? And then what am I supposed to walk away with?
Absolutely. I love this question. So the first goal always to get on the organ at church was to play behind my dad, because my brother could play during service, but as far as my dad hooping when he preaches, come on, we're getting into the Black church now. When he hoops, he needed somebody to back him up. So I was about 14, 15, and I wanted to be that person. So that was my initial goal, was to just help my dad. But my message about 2008, 2009, the Lord gave me is Jesus is Lord. And those 3 simple words can take you into salvation and full access into God and his kingdom. So I always want to give God glory. And as the minister of music, it's important that I don't have the same traditional things that go on in choir rehearsal. I'm not into wasting time arguing and being petty. I really like to have like-minded people around me. Being in a small church, we're more of a storefront church. We're in our 25th year, and I've been the minister of music for about maybe 10 years now. And it's not easy dealing with us, but I'm excited because everybody's in Reformation right now. And so as the minister of music, it's my goal to make sure that I keep the songs current, I keep the songs relevant. This past weekend we had Pentecost Sunday, and I was looking at Jay Moss's anointing. It's my job to stay connected to first the Holy Spirit. So I have to, and I don't really want to go here. I have to stay consecrated. And as the leader of this group, I have to make sure that I'm doing the things I'm telling my people to do. So I don't want to be a hypocrite and just be preaching a message that I'm not doing. So my message is Jesus is Lord. I want people to come to Christ because he changed my life. I know he can change anybody's.
Yeah. Okay.
And we have to can I just say one more thing? We have to do that through music. And I've told many people, my goal is to always bring peace to people. When you listen to my music, I want the headaches to go away. And I try to do that as well in the church, to bring peace and comfort. That's my goal.
So this is my guitar, my gospel axe. This is the guitar I use when I play gospel. I have it sitting here right next to me. In honor of you, when I knew I was going to be interviewing, I said, well, she's got to come out. I got to pull her out and have her right here beside me. Unfortunately, I just got the technology to hook everything into live. If I could have got up on that before this, I would have asked you to grace us with a song while I'm playing it. Ooh. But maybe next time, maybe another interview another time.
Yeah, let's do it again because you got to show me how you guys set up.
But you say well that, and we might can have a conversation about that. We're trying to, with the different groups that I work with, we're working through that. It's complicated, but it can be done. So that might be another conversation we might can have about that one. Let me ask you. You mentioned bringing peace. With all the unrest and the shocking things that's been going on with respect to the law enforcement in Minneapolis, as a music minister, as a artist who sings the word of God, how do you reconcile with all? How are you dealing with this?
Yeah, it's so important to stay prophetic and stay connected to God. On May the 21st, I was really trying to figure out why I was making a post called Happy Black History Month in May. But something came over me to not just not make the post, but to make it. And then on the 25th, unfortunately, the things that happened to Mr. Floyd and to Breonna Taylor and to all these other different Black people triggered something in the earth that we're tired of it. We can't handle it. So my mission has been not to go out on the streets right now because I'm older, and as a female and a woman, I feel at this time that I can't get out on the streets like I want to, but I can be creative with music. So I've been trying to motivate my people. I put out a voicey called Boss, because I wanted people to remember who they are. And so my goal is, remember who you are. You're a boss. You're a leader. You're not a threat. You're not inferior. So with my music, I wanted people to be encouraged. On a holidays EP that I have, I also posted that on my Facebook page to remind people of, again, who they are. I have a song called We Shall Overcome. It's a Dr. King tribute.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome today.
And I just reposted that on my Facebook because at the end of it, me and my sister are saying, we shall overcome today. And as the minister of music, I want to stay not only relevant, but prophetic, because I truly believe that things are going to change. So my mission in this has been to convey a message of prophecy through music and really just speak declarations of hope, and not only hope, but declarations of things that are going to come, because I believe that my words have power. And not only mine, but all of our words have power. Truly, to manifest anything, you have to speak it. But first, you have to see it. So I see the vision, and I want to speak what God is showing me. We shall overcome, not someday, today. So I've just been trying to share what God has given me that I've already put out, and just putting the message out there further on my social media. Remember who you are.
What would you say is sometimes I hear some of the younger generation sometimes being disillusioned with the church across the board. No particular denomination, just sometimes being disillusioned. I know in the churches that I play for, sometimes I look out into the congregation and I see more of the older generation, not so much the really younger one. They may have a lot of them have the kids section or whatever, but that middle group, the teenage, whatever. What do you think is the state of religion, or the state of relations between God and that group? If that's possible to even answer, do you get the same thing? Do you feel that they are looking for something different? What's your thought about that? What do you think?
Yes, sir. I'm so glad that you asked that question, because I've been a little terrified on what my process is and how I'm going to convey this. The church forgets about that generation. And I will be honest, I don't mind being honest, because God is looking for worshipers that are worship in spirit and in truth. And so the truth of the matter is that the church has forgotten that generation. And it's the generation right below me. I'm 34. God willing, I'll be 35 soon. And like you said, what do they call them, millennials? Because a lot of people call me millennial too, so I don't really know what generation it is. But the problem is that the disconnect is because of hypocrisy. Babies and children, they always can see through what people are saying. Is that the church really has to stop being hypocritical, because they can see through that. My prayer is this. I truly believe that there are going to be some people coming into the church once this is all over. I don't know when that's going to happen. Is the church ready now? No. And thank God that the churches aren't open now, because this is the type of conversations we need to be having round table to get ready for this. We cannot do things the same. You cannot come in here being fake. Okay? Period, point blank. Because the way that the world does things and the way that the church does things, it's hard to separate right now. So we need to change that. I would love to be in the room when the leaders get together to really convey what you've just said and how I feel. I don't know if I'm answering your question all the way, but I will say this at the end of this. The reason why these young people don't want to come to church is because it feels like a game. It feels like a show, entertainment. And as a pastor's kid and somebody that's been in church for over 30 years, I'm tired. And so I'm hoping that we'll stop the shenanigans and really get serious about God, because it's the church that's supposed to be taking care of the community. We're not supposed to be relying on
Is the answer? Do you think?
What's that?
Yeah. No, I was gonna say it brought another question to my mind. Is music part of the answer to the call of the youth? And if that's the case, and if that's the case, what about contemporary Christian music versus the current, like Hillsong and some of the current? When I look out and I see Hillsong gatherings, you know what I mean? It's a worldwide phenomenon. I see multiracial, diverse, huge crowds with that music. Something about that. And I guess I'm gonna get to a question here in a second, but I'm pulling all this because I'm thinking about you and what I read about you, and the fact that you use pop gospel artists.
What I said, yes, sir.
So there's got to be a reason. Am I wrong about this? But there's a reason why. Must be a reason why you went to gospel or gospel pop, with that pop being in there. Talk to us. Tell us what's going on there. That sounds very interesting and intriguing. Something different. What's going on?
Absolutely. First, you said that music is the answer. I don't think that music is the full answer. I think that we are to compel the people to come. So as a gospel pop artist, my first song was called Jesus is Lord. That song came out July the 9th, 2010, and nobody paid attention. Nobody. I got played on one of our local radio stations, but it was one of those songs like, am I ready for this? And I understand the title at the time, everybody wasn't ready to say Jesus is Lord, because I was looking at it more like an anthem. Then we came out with Church Girl in 2012, and those songs were actually written around the same time, and everybody loved it. They wanted me to come and sing, and it was more of like this commercial pop song. And so that's why I call myself a gospel pop artist, because I kind of compromised a little with Church Girl, just to compel the people to come, to understand and catch the beat and get this little hip hop. Not that I was faking, because that was really me. That's really who I am. But the message in the music, it's not easy, but it's worth it. God chose me. I'm his servant. I want you to feel relaxed and welcome and come to God, but I also want you to come to Jesus. I don't mind you dancing to my song. A lot of people, and I've never really said this publicly, but a lot of people say, I can see you being a gospel Beyonce, just because of the popularity. So that gospel pop comes in. I want gospel to be popular. And I know we have our Kirk Franklins. I know we have our Mary Marys and those things that are commercially, they have all the Grammys and these things. And I'm grateful for that. But what about the message about Jesus? That's why I say gospel pop. because I do want to compel the people to come, but I do want us to remember the good news. Gospel is about the good news of Jesus Christ. And so I'm one of those artists, if you ask me, you're going to hear his name. So that's what that's about. I'm going to say his name. Okay, so the relationship between God and the youth and the state of music, with that being in there, so something that I said earlier about hypocrisy, that's based towards the church and some of the leaders. I'm not going to say everybody, but some of the leaders. And so the relationship with God is not tainted. There's just people in the way. So what my goal is to draw people back to God. Don't get focused on people, because our trust should not be in man, period. Don't even look at me. But if you do, I don't mind being a role model, because I don't mind being held accountable. But that's up to each one of us to find like-minded people that we can be around that are really doing this for God. So your relationship with God, the only way to the Father is through the Son. So that's why it's important in the music, like Twinkie Clark and the Clark sisters, that we keep the word. Donald Lawrence, Richard Smallwood, keep the word in the music so that people can hear Jesus and they can get to him without us getting in the way. I was fortunate enough to go to Shoreline Community College in Washington State. And in 2016, I graduated with an AA in digital audio engineering. What does that mean? It means that I learned how to record, the ins and outs of recording, the ins and outs of audio. Any system that you put me on, I've generally used Pro Tools or Logic. I love Logic. And so I've learned how to hit play and record. It's not that simple. And then one of the other things is working on boards, mixing boards. So I was there for 2.5 years. It took me 2.5 years, you guys, but you can press through. If you're in school right now, I know that it's tough. I did a lot of online classes just like we're doing right now, but I was able to graduate and get that degree. And it allowed me in 2017 to come out with the album called School Projects. That was the first album that actually allowed me to introduce my sound. It has nothing of me singing on it, because I wanted to portray, you know what, I'm this producer, I'm this not vocal producer, but I am a vocal producer too. That's on different albums. I'll tell you about that later. So School Projects and Rough Drafts, those two albums are really just showcasing what I learned in school. One of my favorite mics is called PPA. It's a wonderful mic. You don't really have to do a lot of EQing on your voice. I learned all that. The techniques on the nominal levels. And I mean, we could go into it. If you ask me more, we can go into it. And I just love being able to have that lingo, because there's not a lot of women in our industry. And the only reason why I got into it is because I got a bunch of no's in the studio, and I don't have time to wait anymore. When the Lord has given me something, I don't have time for you to put me on hold. So that's the reason why I went into learning how to record, because I don't have time to wait. I can hit record myself and we'll get it done. So I hope that gives you a little bit into
Did you like the being in control of your own music and being able to record it?
I love it.
To be recorded when you want to record it and in the way in which you want it done. It eliminates the outside producers. Now I see that you're a producer as well. So when you say you're a producer, or you're talking about you're producing your own tracks, or do you also produce other people?
Yeah, I do love to produce my own music. It's not ideal. Like I said, I started creating music for myself because I was getting a lot of no's in the studio. But I have been able to do some vocal production for someone named Lady A. I'm not sure if you heard of her, but my brother has done a few of her records, and anytime he works with her, he allows me to do some background. So I've been a background vocalist for her and some other artists. That some people in the family, some other local artists that I could name, but I don't know what's going on in my brain. I can't think of anybody's names right now. So producing for other people, it's kind of underground, Marlon, because I've signed contracts with people and they're like, you know what, I want you to do my my jingle for my t-shirt company, and then on the contract it'll say, you can't ever tell anybody that you did this beat for me. So I have a lot of beats out there like that, unfortunately, but I did get paid and I needed the money right then. So there's some moves that I made like that. But as far as producing for myself, it's not ideal. I want to do a Steely Dan kind of thing and just have some, that's why I started my band, have some musicians come in and background singers, and then I just lead. But I don't have to lead everything. That's what I've told my band. There's songs that I've written that I know that don't fit my voice. So ideally, I want other people in the studio with me. I want everything to already be set up. So when I walk in, I'm just ready to record. Because by the time I get everything set up, I'm tired and drained. And I'm like, I'll do it tomorrow. But I'm tired of that. I need staff. I need people around me. So that's the ideal situation I would like. Yes, Sherman! Richard Sherman. I don't know why I kept getting Anderson in my head. Richard Sherman, that's him. His mom and Marshawn Lynch. See, I love Marshawn Lynch. He's number 24. That was my baby. That's why I know him. Lord, I feel so bad. Richard Sherman. Yes, it was their mothers. Thank you, Roz. But okay, so in the band, we have, his name is Leonard Bass II. We have a keyboard player. His name is Jaylon Elijah. These people are incredible. They're incredible. I kid you not. When y'all hear this band, when we get it together. Okay, so that's the 3 musicians. Oh, bass player, Derry Wilmore Jr. Incredible. And then guitar player, I'm still working on hiring somebody. Now, background singers, my favorite people. We have Anthony Watson as tenor. Perfect.
I love you. I love you, Lord, today.
We have Ashley McCoy. She is our alto.
No problem that my God won't help you bear.
And we have Janelle Coleman as our soprano.
Glory.
Lord have
I
mercy.
would do anything.
So it's Mitia Oliver and Underground Gospel. That's the band. And then me. I do it all. But I can't play the bass and guitar, but I do it all the rest. Okay, yes, that has been hard because I'm only one person, and I have sent, Church Girl did really well because I was behind the scenes sending emails to all these radio stations that I had contacts with. And so I really needed to hire someone to do that for me because as an artist, I don't want to make excuses, but I got lazy. I got really lazy and I should have hired somebody. So it's also hard for me to promote myself. But now in this stage, I'm learning that is so important. It is so important to promote yourself. And so I'm willing to do that again. I still have the same contacts, but I want to put somebody else in charge of that. So hopefully I can hire someone like a marketing person, a PR, that can make sure that the music, every time I release an album, that the music is out in the open so people can purchase it and know about it. A lot of the problems is that people don't know that I've come out with music. So it has been a struggle. Thank you. Oh, okay. So I have 3 albums coming out. God willing, on July the 10th, there's an album coming out called Essentials, Mitia Oliver Essentials Volume 1. And the reason why it's coming out is because I have all these songs that are my new record label, Jesus is Lord Records. So we're re-releasing some things. Church Girl's gonna be re-released. So it's gonna be about 40 songs on this album. So it's a re-release to put on the new record label. I'm actually really excited about this. And then the next album is gonna be the first album that I ever came out with in 2008. I only shared it with my family for a Christmas present. And so I'm finally gonna release that to the public. I'm excited about that. These are some songs that I would just hold on to and travel to Detroit and New York. Like as soon as I get in the room, I'm playing this. So this is, this is probably gonna be one of my favorite albums I've released so far. And then the third album is gonna be Beginnings Volume 2. And it's more of my ideas and rough drafts I've been sitting on for over 10, 20 years. So I'm releasing old stuff. Can I just say this to you? And I told my band this, I'm releasing a lot of old things. There's about 5 more albums after this, you guys, of new stuff to you, but more getting closer to 2013 and in 2017, the last time I recorded, actually 2018, 2013 to 2018. And these albums that are out now are from my band, so that once I get all that music out, we can learn it and then tour. So yeah, we've got 3 more albums coming out this summer, so I'm excited about that.
So do you have the Mitia Oliver vault? Do you have a vault also? Sounds like you got a lot of songs.
Oh, you sound like my brother.
Is it in the room in there? I'm looking to see where's the vault along that bookcase.
No, it's over here.
It's somewhere
It's over
hidden
here.
back behind that box right there, something, right?
It might be. It might be. No.
Oh, I'm
no.
okay.
My brother does call it a vault. You know, not to ever brag, but the Lord has given me so many songs. I have phones with voice notes on them. So I even want to do an album called Voice Notes, just to challenge the industry. Like, I can do what I want. I'm an independent artist. If I want to come out with the album, I'll come out with it when I want. There's definitely a vault, sir. There's over 500 songs. Honestly, I've sent to copyright. And so there might be about 200 to 300 that I haven't sent. So there is a vault. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm definitely looking forward to hearing it, and I'm sure the viewers would love to hear the stuff from the vault. Let me ask you, in concluding, I'll always ask my guests to answer this phrase. It comes from A Tale of Two Cities. I like to, perhaps I'm taking it out of context, but I like to apply it to journeys for artists that are going on journeys of development and expressing themselves and following their passions. So the line is, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. When I say that to you and you think about your journey and your ministry, what comes to mind?
Oh my goodness, the first thing I want to do is cry, because it's like you understand that there is a journey. And then I want to cry because of the pain that I could go into, but I have more joy right now. And there's 2 songs I would like to mention about this journey. Be Close to You, which is on Beginnings Volume 1. Be Close to You, I believe I don't want to say what number it is because I don't want to say the wrong number, but it's called Be Close to You. Song I wrote in 2011, one of the worst times of my life. And people love that song. And every time I want to hear you sing Be Close to You, it brings up that trauma that I had during that journey of being locked out of the studio. So that was a song I did all by myself. And then there's another song that's just full of pain and just reflecting back on that. It's called Real Joy, and it came out October 23rd, 2018. It's a single. Those 2 songs right there are full of pain and full of joy, because I learned a lesson out of it. You know what I mean? And that's why I was able to share with other people what God has done for me. He literally kissed the tears away. He literally kissed my tears away. All the pain that I had involved in this journey of music, if it hadn't been for God, I would have gave up. And I tried to give up. I've tried to give up on this journey. I've tried to quit. And with that, and I hope you don't mind me going here, because obviously God wants me to share this. Even the thoughts of suicide twice on this journey with people that I trusted. And when I went to them and told them I wanted to do this, they just killed my dream. So to anybody that's listening, if you have dream killers around you, you need to change your atmosphere. You need to get around the right people, because that actually proves to you how strong you are, how valuable you are, and how amazing you are. So it's going to be ups and downs, but at the end of the road, you're going to have victory. So I'm grateful for the victory today. I can report victory, Marlon.
Good. That's good. So my guest today, thank you very much. And on that note, I want the viewers to remember Mitia Oliver, my guest today, my very special guest today. I want to thank you, Mitia, for spending this time with us and sharing your story and your talents. And we pray for you and for your continued elevation and success. This has been another episode of Conversations with Marlon. You're welcome. The guitar player in the corner, okay?
Yes.
Bringing it
blessings.
to you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm
Thank
so honored.
Join this episode.
So if you're looking to reach out and connect with me, you can go to my website at mitiaoliver.com, mitiaoliver.com. And please follow me on Twitter or Instagram. My name is Tia_OH. So that's TIA_OH, for Mitia Oliver. And so you can follow me there. But I also want you to do me one more favor. It's one of my favorite pages where I get to release all the music, anything new, anything that's unreleased. I have a song in there called He's Alive that's not out yet, and I want y'all to check it out for me. And I also release a lot of unreleased things. Another song called Run and Dance that I'll put back on there just for you for this week. Go to reverbnation.com/Mitia Oliver, and you'll be able to hear a lot of unreleased music and some that's familiar to you that's already out. So thank you so much for your support. If you don't mind, I want to sing one of my favorite hymns to you. It's called The Blood Will Never Lose Its Power. The blood that Jesus shed for me way back on Calvary, the blood that gives me strength, from day to day. It will never lose its power. This is my favorite part. Oh, it reaches to the highest mountain. That's not my testimony. This is mine. And it flows to the lowest valley. Oh, yeah. Oh, the blood that gives me strength. Hallelujah. Oh, Lord, from day to day, it will never, ever, ever lose. It won't ever, it will never, ever, ever lose. One more time, it will never, never, never lose its power. And I'm so glad that God's blood, Jesus' blood, will never lose its power. Thank you.